because you also talked about the World Test Championship final, the Lord's Test. I think we saw that Wobble seam was doing most of the damage in that game. And I remember there were a lot of people posting images about Hazelwood and other bowlers bowling different variants of the Wobble. You yourself also had talked about it, something called as the hybrid Wobble. So could you please just elaborate a bit more on this aspect as well? What is the Wobble? Why is it so effective in England, particularly these days? Because I think Chris Wokes has kind of revamped his career by by bowling the wobble
Yes.
ball, and especially in England. So, what are the different variants of the wobble, and why is it so effective in England?
Yeah, obviously the unpredictability factor is a reason. Yes, it depends on the kind of grips that you want to use, or to whether you want to really angle it in, or whether you want to move it both ways, or so sometimes it straightens. See, there are different types of wobble. If you look at some bowlers, only a few bowlers use this kind of a wobble where they have this have their fingers on either side of the seam slightly wider, and with a loose restriction. Obviously, the obvious example is Anderson himself, and his thinking is the ball will move both ways. Sometimes it will straighten a little bit, but with that loose restriction, you won't really hit the pitch hard. But you will bring the unpredictability factor into play. Occasionally, it swings as well, or at least moves in the air. The wobble ball,
Mhm.
that's the difference between wobble ball and the scrambled seam, default scrambled seam, that is. And the second one is that three-quarter seam that a lot of bowlers now tend to use. The
Mhm.
Siraj of the world, or the just retired Team Southey, Trent Bolt, many more. Kagiso Rabada, I've seen him use that one. Matt Hendry has a slightly different wobble ball, but all these balls use three-quarter seam,
Mhm.
where they hold it at a slight angle. Even Pat Cummins, 40-45 degree angle. If you are holding it a 40-45 degree angle with the look of an in swinger, obviously it's not an in swinger, held at very much an angle. Then it will mostly come into the right hander again. It will
Mhm.
wobble a little bit in the air, might move a little bit in the air. So when you're seeing that kind of wobble in the air, you will feel the batter won't understand whether it will straighten or whether it will come into the right hander. That is with the three-quarter seam. I think
Mhm.
that's the main thing. Yes, Pat Cummins has developed another kind of wobble where he holds it at a 45-degree angle again, but with an action that feels like the ball will move away from the right hander.
Mhm.
That's his style of wobble seam. Variant of the wobble seam, where one finger is on the leather, the other one is on the seam.
Mhm.
So there's one more variant, the hybrid wobble. Obviously, Joe Heselwood is trying it in that Lord's test. Again, the
Mhm.
mechanics are for the wobble. He was trying to hold it more like a fingers on either side. And this shine, I think his shine was on the shine, he kept it on the right side. That's basically indicating to the batter that the because it's a conventional swing, the batter would be thinking the ball will be moving away from the right hander, but
Right.
because of the mechanics of the wobble seam, it is coming into the right hander, occasionally straightening. And obviously Anderson tried it against Pujara and Virat Kohli in the 2021 10th pitch test. One of them came in. Yes, he had the shine on the left side. I think the shine on the left side. Shine on the left side is so it was supposed to move into Kohli and Pujara, but one of them moved in, other one moved away again because of the mechanics of the wobble. So, and then there is Tim Southey. He developed a slightly different kind of ball just for one or two test matches in 2021. That was the World Test Championship final and the series against England. It's almost seemed like a zero seam delivery where he was holding it pretty
Mhm.
much straight. Maybe there was no tripping effect or whatever it was. The ball just angled into Olipo. Maybe the slope factor also played a part there. And
Mhm.
it again angled into Rohit Sharma in the second innings, and both were
Right.
trapped or LBW, or trapped in front or bowled. So these are some of the different variants of the ball. I think the main factor is the unpredictability, the randomness that really puts the batter in a lot of trouble.